Today I'm going to talk about my second favorite way to save money on taxes. And it's weird because it's not going to save you that much money most of the time, but it opens up a lot of other things that will save you money. And that is having a home office or a home workspace. Now, if you file your taxes, nothing on your tax form is going to say home office. It's going to say business use of home. That's what the form is you file. Now, you have to go through some hoops to get this. You need a space, a dedicated space in your home that is used exclusively for the business. That means if you got a spare room, but your in-laws stay there 2 nights a year, that is not exclusive use. You get to claim that 0 days per year. But if you can set aside a space, and it does not have to be a whole room, it can be this 5 by 7 area of this room. You've got a home office. Home office that you write off a percentage of your property taxes, of your mortgage interest, of your insurance payments, of your utility payments, of general repairs to the house. In certain situations, even things like landscaping costs, or if you have a housekeeper come in and clean, you may get to deduct a proportion of that. And this is a great way to claim some of these things you can't otherwise claim. Normally, you have to itemize to claim that interest deduction on your mortgage. And with current standard deductions, very few people itemize. Well, this way, maybe you can claim 10 or 15% of that, not directly, but as part of the home office exemption. Similarly, if you have a cap for the SALT, the state and local taxes of $10,000 because of the Trump tax cuts, well, the taxes you write off as part of your property taxes through your office are not part of that $10,000 cap. So it's a way to get at least some of that money back into your pocket. But for a lot of people, if you've got, a 10 by 10 area, maybe it's only a $500, maybe $1,000 write-off, you're saving $200-300. Who really cares? And isn't it a big risk anyway? It did used to be a risk. It's really not today. It's not a red flag. The IRS, especially after COVID, has basically said, "Oh yeah, people have home offices now," and it's really not any sort of a special red flag. You better be able to prove it. If you get audited, if you get letters from the IRS, they're going to want to see proof, but it's not a red flag. But is it worth it for a couple $100? Well, first of all, sometimes it's more than a couple $100. Run the numbers on it. I've had several clients who have saved thousands of dollars a year in taxes because of what's going on. If you're lucky enough to be like Jack Spirko and have a big workshop that you can use for your business, that might be another way to save a whole lot of money on taxes. Because you can claim a lot more square footage, so you get a whole lot more savings. Maybe you have multiple offices in the home and you can claim them. If you build a structure outside the home, you can claim that except. But the thing I really like, and this is the trick I really like, is it opens up a lot more mileage deductions for you. So currently, the IRS says the first time you drive to your office, well, let me restate that. The first time you travel to your office, that doesn't count. That's your commute. You can't write that off. And whenever you travel from your office home, the last time for the day, that's your regular commute. You can't write that off. But any other driving you do for your business during the day, you can write that off by the mileage. And this year in 2025, that's 70 cents per mile. It can add up really quickly. Well, what if your commute is not getting in your car and driving 20 miles away? What if your commute is putting on your slippers and walking across the home to your home office? Check your email, send out a couple emails, work 15, 20 minutes, and then when you drive to your separate workplace, that's not your commute anymore. Now that 20 miles is business travel. You get to write off that 20 miles. That's $14 of write-off. When you drive home, as long as you drive to your home office, do a little bit of work there, and then go back into your home from your home office, that's another $14 write-off. So you get a $28 per day write-off by doing this. If you go into work every day, it's like $140 a week. It's practically $1,000 per month or $12,000 of a write-off for the whole year. Most people are going to save $3,000 in taxes on that. But you can't do any of that without the home office. So no, we don't care about the one or the two or the $300, but I think you care about that $3,000. It also opens you up to do a lot of other trips and make them business trips. This is particularly advantageous if you live kind of in the boonies. So let's say you're going to go into town on a date with your wife. Well, if you got to run by the hardware store to get something for your business or run by Office Depot or something like that, now that mileage is business mileage. Now, don't be greedy. If it's 20 miles to that store and then 10 miles to where the date is, don't write off the 30 miles. But write off the 20 miles. You're going to do the driving anyway. This way you save some money on taxes. There's a couple of other tricks involving the home office kind of like this, that it opens up other things you can do. It opens up potentially other deductions you can take as a business expense, because now you've got an office. If maybe you didn't even have an office, if you're a solopreneur, weekend warrior, keyboard warrior, there are things you can't deduct as easily as if you have an office. Please, if you qualify, you should absolutely be claiming the home office deduction. Even if it's only 5 by 6, 5 by 7, it really can add up.